Did the main session finish?
Yes, it did.
It did. Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and start. I'm gonna exit out of this. My name is Ryan Morales. I'm a fourth year medical student at ChiCom. And so how this is gonna go about is I'm just gonna let you guys do your own thing. Each program has about 3 to 5 minutes. So we have 6 programs here. We should only have 30 minutes for this session. So let's split the middle and do 4 minutes per program. I'll try to wave you down, or I'll just have a timer in the back if you are running late. If not, you can just go on. And then at the end, we'll have questions. I have a set of questions if no one has any other questions, okay? All right, let's start.
All right, do you want me to just go ahead and start?
Yep, go for it.
All right, well, hi everyone. I'm Becky Wallahan. I am the program director at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. I'll tell you a little bit about our hospital first and then talk about our program specifically. So we are a large freestanding children's hospital with strengths in both primary care and subspecialty care. We are in an urban setting, but we have a pretty large catchment area. And so we see patients from kind of all over Ohio, West Virginia, Northern Kentucky. And so there's the opportunity for our residents to practice in more rural settings also. Our number one focus is really on providing outstanding care to children, not only in central Ohio, but around the world. And alongside our clinical mission, we are also leaders in areas like research, quality and safety, and advocacy, which really creates a lot of opportunities for our residents. In addition to excellent clinical training, we really try and focus on helping our residents identify and develop their passions within pediatrics. And one way that we do this is through our advanced competency programs. So these are optional programs in academic areas of interest, kind of outside of clinical medicine, which provide our residents with the mentorship and opportunities to kind of gain practical and longitudinal experience and explore areas such as advocacy, global health, medical education, research, informatics. And although participation in these is not mandatory, about 80% of our residents choose to take part in at least one, with multiple residents taking part in at least 2 or 3. Advocacy and community engagement and health equity are important to the mission of not only our hospital, but our program also. And we incorporate this in a number of different ways, from our advocacy rotation for all of our interns to our advocacy advanced competency, and then our RECE program, which is our Residents in Schools initiative, which is where our residents go out and teach health and science topics to 2nd and 3rd graders in the Columbus Public School System. And it's really a lot of fun, a great way for us to engage with kind of students and kids outside of the hospital. And it's a favorite experience for many of our residents. And finally, I think probably the one thing that I hope you all take away from tonight, if there's just one thing, it's that even though we are a large program, we are very much a family, and it's a priority of everyone in our program and in our hospital to provide a supportive environment in which our residents can thrive. And I think that the sense of community and camaraderie is really one of our biggest strengths, and it makes it a lot of fun to work here. And it's the thing that I love most about our program and our hospital. I'm going to stop there, and I actually have a co-presenter. So I'm going to turn it over to one of our chief residents, Claudia Mosquera Vasquez.
Hi, I'm Claudia. My pronouns are she, her. I'm one of the chief residents. So I want to highlight other points from Nationwide Children's Hospital. So first, we have a lot of diversity initiatives in our program. So we have the RDIC, that is the Resident Diversity and Inclusion Coalition. That is a group of residents and faculty that identified as URM, so underrepresented minorities in medicine. So Latinx, African American, LGBTQ+, and it's a family. We work towards like building a community of URMs in the hospital, and also towards recruitment. We want to have a bigger family too. But we not only want our program to be diverse, we want our diverse residents to feel comfortable. So we have a PEARLS curriculum that is a Pediatric Equity and Advocacy Residency Learning Series. That was a curriculum built by residents and faculty. It's a longitudinal set of lectures that will touch in different topics as implicit bias, not just in race, just LGBTQ health, obesity, disability, food desert. So the residents get lectures in those topics for the 3 years of residency. We have another highlight of our program that we always want to talk about, that is the RAs. So those are the residence assistants. They are part of our inpatient teams and they are super helpful. So they help with the things that usually the residents complain about that are not like doctor stuff, like calling outside hospitals to get lab results, call to make follow-up appointments. So they're part of their team and they are very helpful with that. And lastly, I wanted to highlight Columbus. So Columbus is very diverse. So me as a Venezuelan, I can tell you, is diverse. We have Latino, a big Somali population, Nepali population, and we serve those communities. The food center is amazing. We have metro parks close to the city, and you can choose to live close to downtown, like more like a city vibe, or also live in the suburbs that are kind of close to the hospital if you have a bigger family. So yeah, come to visit us.
All right, thank you so much, Nationwide. We'll go on to the next one, University of Oklahoma. And also don't forget, you can ask questions on Twitter with the hashtag FPR webinar. Okay, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Casey Hester. I am the program director in Oklahoma City. We have some of our amazing residents on here in this group tonight, as well as our 2 chief residents, and I'll pitch it over to Tyler here in just a minute. Before we launch into the program, I just want everyone to take a nice big deep breath. It's like, this is my favorite time of year. It always is. It's like, this is where we're going to meet the newest members of our family. And so I know it is crazy stressful for you guys as applicants, but the process just works. You know, get out, get to know different programs and see where your best fit is. The nice thing about it is all of us program directors, we're colleagues, we're friends. You guys picked the right specialty. Okay. There are no bad peds programs out there. It's just finding the right one for you and kind of finding your people. Last year, we were all very nervous because we had no idea how virtual interviews were going to go. It's like, oh my gosh, we live in Oklahoma City. You know, if people haven't been to Oklahoma City, they don't know, oh, this is actually a pretty great little city. And so we thought, if we don't get people there, you know, will they figure out who we are? Will we get to know them? And it just worked. It still works on Zoom. So I know the whole process is so stressful, but just know you're going to find your place. You really are. Just sort of trust your gut and figure out kind of what the few things are that are really important to you and kind of the deal breakers. So a few things just about us that I want to highlight. We are the only children's hospital in the state that's freestanding. We're the only one that has the full range of pediatric specialists. So if it's high acuity, high complexity, very complex, difficult cases, that's what we're going to get. But we're also going to get lots of great general peds. We, of course, have a lot of rural areas in the state. And so you're going to have patients that have conditions that come from living in urban environments as well as rural and suburban. The other thing that I really want to highlight is it is such a blessing to be where I am. I've been doing this, like I said, like 10 years. The department is so supportive of us doing unique and innovative things. And so we're one of the only programs in the country that has a coaching program where our faculty have protected time. So they actually have each of our residents has their own assigned coach who comes alongside them throughout residency, does direct observation, and gives feedback really in that coaching model. And the other thing we're really proud of is the X+Y curriculum. If you don't know much about it, I will tell you we've loved it, and we are not looking to go back anytime soon. It's been really wonderful for team-based learning, and it's just kind of nice not to have to get up and leave what you're doing with your patients and your learning 1/2 day a week. Instead, all of that is put into the Y week. So if you don't know much about it, look into it. We're a mid-sized program. And kind of the last thing that I want to say is we recruit for people. We don't recruit for of course, we're going to look at things that come through on dean's letters and scores, but we're looking for people that are a good fit for us. And so again, I can't highlight enough the importance of getting to know the program and being your true and authentic self, because truly that's what we want to get to know is you. I'm going to pitch it over to Tyler really quickly.
I cannot say enough good about Oklahoma. I love the staff and program here and how it's dedicated to helping people create a meaningful career. And not only that, a meaningful life as well. I never expected to go to Oklahoma. I'm originally from Idaho. I did my undergrad in Utah, and then I did my medical training in Michigan. And then I came down to Oklahoma for residency. When I interviewed here, it really sparked my interest, and I found it to really be a hidden gem, because you never really think of Oklahoma as a place to go. But I have loved my time here. I've loved my ability that I've had to grow. I've had so many supporters as well as mentors here that have really helped me. And this program has really shaped my career in the way I want to take it. For me, I've had a great interest in cardiology, and they've really gotten behind me and allowed me to have so many experiences in cardiology. They've allowed me to do electives. I've been able to be in the cath lab as well as the EP lab, and really just try to make it my own. And I love that Oklahoma is really behind their learners, and they really want them to succeed in whatever their goals and desires are. And on top of that, Oklahoma is just an amazing place to live. The cost of living here is phenomenal. Most residents own houses, which is great. And then Oklahoma itself, it has anything that you could ever want here in OKC. I mean, the metropolitan area is large. It's got like 1.5 million people, but at the same time, it feels like it's a small town and everybody knows everyone and really just is behind everyone and wants the best for you, which is great. And so we really love it here in Oklahoma, and hope that you can find the place that works well for you as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And if that's all from Oklahoma, the next group is University of Illinois at Chicago.
Hi, thank you so much. So my name is Michelle Barnes. I'm the program director at the University of Illinois in Chicago, or UIC. And I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. Thank you all for joining us. And I really want to echo what has been said by many of the program directors this evening, both in the main room and here. We are one big happy family in the Midwest. I'm so excited to see all of my Midwestern friends here, Becky, Casey, and Heather, and everybody. It's really wonderful to see everybody again, and excited to be back in recruitment. And I also really want to echo what Casey said, in that this process works every year. And I agree, we were so nervous last year about how it would work. And I will say we have an amazing group of interns, and I am just so pleased with how this whole process worked out for us last year. And we're really excited and are confident that it will work out for you and for all of us this year as well. So a little bit about us. So we are obviously located in Chicago. And we, in contrast to some of the other programs in the Midwest, we are in a very big city, in a very urban environment. If you are looking for a rural program, we probably are not the one for you, but we certainly have everything else. So I would say that kind of describe our program as a mid-sized academic, urban, mission-driven program. We serve a relatively vulnerable population in the city. As many of you know, Chicago has a lot of pediatric residency programs. There's a lot of medical schools here, a lot going on. However, it's a huge city that has a lot of different parts, and then a relatively large suburban community as well that we draw from, and we draw patients from all over the state, actually. So, as well as from Northern Indiana. However, all of the programs serve very different communities, and we serve community largely on the west side and the south side of the city, as well as from Northern Indiana. That, again, I would say is a really relatively vulnerable patient population. And it's really the program, the hospital, the university are all very committed to providing outstanding care to the patients and the families that we serve in our community, many of whom experience many social stressors in their day-to-day lives. And we really focus a lot on talking with our residents and teaching our residents how to care for the whole patient and the whole family, not just their medical problems when they come and see us, whether that's in the clinic, in the ER, or in the hospital, of course. In addition, I think one of the things that I love about our program, and that I wonder every year if it is going to work is whether the new interns will fit in with our family. We are a family here at UIC. I really consider the residents my extended family, and I know that they consider one another their family, and they really, really form lifelong relationships with their co-residents as well as with their faculty that they're working with. We're a relatively tight-knit program. We don't have a lot of fellowships. We have 5 fellowships. They're relatively small. And I think that with that, the residents get to learn from working with people who have experience in fellowship, but they also get a lot of one-on-one opportunities to work with their faculty, which they really appreciate. Other things I wanted to highlight, I think that the tracks that we have, as many programs have now, really offer an opportunity for the residents to dig a little deeper in some of the areas that they're interested in. They are optional, as they are at many programs. We have tracks in pediatric hospital medicine, research, global health, community health and advocacy, and medical education. And I think with those tracks, you can see kind of the emphasis that we place on those various topics in our program. And then really the residents have an opportunity to kind of explore more in those areas. And with the tracks, essentially what they get with that is they have a couple of months of elective time that is protected over the course of their training, generally in the 2nd and 3rd year, to have time to work on longitudinal projects with mentors and partners within the community and elsewhere in the university. As with many programs, we have a wellness committee that we put together in the last couple of years that has really expanded quite a bit in the last year in terms of trying to support our residents through, what has been a very difficult time in this last year and a half, as well as supporting our families through that time. We have many activities that the Diversity and Inclusion Task Force has taken on in the last couple of years, not only around recruitment, but really around supporting our residents throughout their career and as they're preparing for the next steps of their career at the end of their training. In addition, there are a lot of mentorship opportunities for our residents, both with our medical students. We have a very large medical school, as well as with students who are underrepresented in medicine at some of the other colleges within UIC and within the city. So there's a lot of opportunities for residents to get involved in mentorship at various levels at the university. In terms of size, we have 13 residents per year. So we have about 39 residents. We also have a med peds program. So we have 4 med peds residents per year as well. So we're really happy to have them. And then our team includes myself. We have an associate program director, Dr. Laurent, who's also a general pediatrician, an assistant program director, Dr. Vanderoost, who is a hospitalist, as well as another assistant program director, Dr. Harding, who is also, she's a pediatric critical care attending as well. So I think we have a really wonderful team. We hope to meet many of you throughout the course of recruitment in the next couple of months. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Barnes. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next program, University of Missouri.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Anish Tosh, Program Director at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. I'm joined by Dr. Rebecca Kruer, our Chief Resident. She just graduated this June and got married and signed for a general pediatrics position in her home state of Iowa, which she'll start after she finishes her chief year. So we're really excited she can join us, and she'll spend time with you all for the after party portion of this webinar. So welcome, Dr. Kruer. And again, I share everyone's greetings that you've already made the best decision in going into pediatrics, and you can't do any wrong from here on out. Pediatrics is the best field of medicine, and so well done. And we're really excited that you can share the evening with us. And so let me share a little bit about our program. I love the sense of family that all the programs here in the Midwest have already talked about. I certainly agree with that. We have a lot of excitement in our program at Missouri. We've recently expanded over the past several years from 6 to 7 and now 8 positions per year. So we're really excited about our growth. We added a developmental and behavioral pediatrics fellowship program, so opportunities to train after residency. And we added a health informatics track, and allows a resident per year to obtain a master's in health informatics while also doing their 3-year pediatrics training. So really excited about that opportunity to, in our program. We just finished some mock interviews with some of our 3rd-year residents interested in pursuing fellowship. And so it's really nice that we can kind of tailor some of our time to our residents' individual need. We are 30 minutes away from Jefferson City, Missouri, which is our state capital, which really allows our residents to be involved with advocacy at the legislative level. And so we have an advocacy day every spring where we go down to Jefferson City and meet with our legislators and advocate on various children's health topics. We offer a second continuity clinic. So in addition to the regular continuity clinic, residents have an option to do a second clinic, and I do adolescent medicine. So we have a third-year resident right now working on elective. When she's on elective rotation, she also spends a half day with us in the adolescent clinic, just trying to bolster her training. And so that is a nice, I think, addition to the curriculum that we offer. It's optional, but a lot of our residents take us up on that. Really proud of our cultural cafe. So as was mentioned in the intro, we actually have a large Amish population that we take care of. And so it's really nice that we can learn about various communities. We also have a refugee population that's growing in Columbia, in addition to rural communities and international communities. And so it's really nice to learn from the various communities represented in Columbia, Missouri. We'll be recruiting for 8 positions again. We also offer an advocacy track, and we're really excited about that. And there's dedicated time set aside for training and also advocacy projects as well. And so we're very proud of what our residents have accomplished on that track. I do want to highlight a couple things that are resident driven. There's about 10 years ago, one of our residents wanted to do a holiday food drive. And it's really grown and expanded. And now we included other departments, including family medicine. And so again, this is all resident driven, and certainly the faculty get involved. Last year, our residents raised 110,000 pounds of food for our local food bank. And again, that's all resident driven, and just really proud of that. It's something we just keep going. And we've every year we break our prior records. So really proud of that. My residents wanted me to show you this. If you can see this, this is our 4-time defending city champion kickball medal. So not only are our residents pediatric rock stars, but they're awesome athletes as well. So we have a lot of fun. That kickball team involves not just residents, but spouses and faculty and all of our dogs and fur babies. And so it's a really fun event. So, we really do take pride in also the fun that we have as a group. It's a 10-minute commute for most of our residents. You can own a home, or rent is affordable as well. And we have awesome parks and trails in Columbia, including and since I mentioned the dogs, a fantastic dog park as well. So never thought I'd have 3 dogs myself, but we kind of got stir crazy in our family. And so got a 3rd dog last year. And so just really love living in Columbia, Missouri. So again, if you're interested in fantastic training, as well as having some fun, hope you do take a look at our program. Good luck, everyone, with this recruitment season and the match.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Tosh. The next program is Wright State University BSOM Pediatric Residency, Integrated Pediatric Residency.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Winker. I am a former chief resident and current faculty member at Wright State. I'm joined tonight with our program director, Dr. Ann Burke. Wright State is a moderate-sized program with about 48 residents. We're the only integrated pediatric residency program with both military and civilian residents. Like most programs have said so far tonight, we think what makes our program unique and special is the people and the culture of camaraderie amongst our trainees. We're fortunate in that we have a 176-bed freestanding children's hospital with a 24-bed PICU, a level 1 trauma center, 24-bed behavioral health inpatient unit, and all pediatric subspecialties. Our residents really work side by side with all the attendings and specialists, getting hands-on experience, a lot of autonomy. They get all the priority for procedures and a great support system of mentors. About 20% of our residents choose to specialize and match into excellent fellowship programs. And our residents graduate fully prepared to take on anything, whether it's primary care or fellowship. In general, since we are an integrated pediatric residency program, about 80% of our rotations are done at Dayton Children's Hospital and 20% are done at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Being fully integrated means that aside from the location of your continuity clinic, so our civilians do continuity clinic at Dayton Children's, our military residents do it at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. There's almost no other distinction within the program. The military base has a large treatment facility with a number of outpatient clinics, state-of-the-art simulation center, and unique opportunities like the humanitarian medicine course that we offer to both military and civilian residents. By working with both systems, you really are able to become adept at treating many diverse patient populations. And our program has always emphasized the importance that all of our residents, both military and civilian, of being very comfortable and competent in stabilizing sick children and ensuring that they develop a wide scope of practice. We put a lot of effort into the detail of our program with competency-based curriculum, evaluation of residents in new and innovative ways, and the emphasis on self-reflective learning. We have dedicated didactic afternoons every Wednesday, morning reports every day, and opportunities for resident teaching experiences. Our continuity clinics are full days rather than half days, which really provides an improved focus on clinic-based learning. Some other highlights of our program are that we do not take call as interns. We take call our second and third year while we're on PICU and NICU rotations. We provide a dedicated board review series to our third years every year, and we have a 4-year board pass rate of 94%. You can see on the page that we have great vacation and leave policies, as well as generous academic funds and new funds. We have a resident diversity and inclusion committee, as well as an 18-month curriculum that covers DEI topics and a number of other opportunities to get involved in DEI at our program. We also have a wellness committee that plans monthly events that occur away from work to allow our residents to really relax and take time away from work to spend time with each other. In the past, we've gone canoeing, done fitness classes, and gone to different sporting events. To add all of this, so Dayton, Ohio is in Southwest Ohio. It's really an incredible city. We have, 20 minutes traffic wherever you're going. We have great bike trails. And I think, like everyone has said, our residents are a really close-knit group of family. And you really, you'll miss your residents once you graduate because they really do become your family. But congratulations on choosing PEDS and good luck in the match.
Thank you so much. Okay, on to the next program, University of Michigan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Burroughs. My pronouns are she and her. I am the program director for the University of Michigan program, and I will echo what everyone else has said, which is that you have made the right choice of choosing pediatrics, and you're on your way to making the right choice to staying in the Midwest area, because our programs really are the very best and friendliest for everyone. I think you'll recognize that there's some common features of our programs is that we really care a lot about our trainees. We want to make sure that they're getting the best experience they can and are really prepared for the next step in their journey in pediatrics. Our children's hospital is a 348-bed hospital. We're really busy with over 30,000 ED visits per year. I'm a general pediatrician and I work in one of our continuity clinics. I think they're really a special part about our program here at Michigan. We have over 75 faculty in our general peds division, so really an investment in the community in terms of your experience with a diverse group of various clinics in some of our more rural and more urban areas of our hospital catchment. Our clinics are busy. We see over 100,000 visits per year, and our residents are very involved in each of those. But you have your own small clinic that you're at, so you really get to feel like you're in a family situation there. We also have a longitudinal second day continuity clinic experience that can be either in a subspecialty clinic or in a research experience. And about half of our residents choose to do that in their second and third year, which really allows people to explore their interests in future training. Some people decide that that's exactly what they want to do, and some people decide that maybe they want to do something else, which I feel like is a sign that this is a winning expectation for them. We are in the state of Michigan, and one of the features that we have is that our residents are actually unionized. Our House Officer Association does a lot to really help with the resources and benefits that our residents have. Wonderful salary and benefits that they get to be a part of. And our residents also are involved in the leadership of that House Officer Association, which really provides some nice opportunities for them. We've had resident assistants on our inpatient teams for almost 20 years. We got them the year after I finished residency, which I always think is a little bit unfair, but they're wonderful people who have, many of them been with our program for many, many years. They know that secret number to call to get that thing done that needs to get done. And they are constantly trying to find out what you need and trying to get it done before you even think to ask them. A wonderful feature of our program and really beloved members of our family. We have over 11 electives for our residents that are truly selected by them, and all the weekends are free on that time. The only rotation that residents take call on is in the NICU, but otherwise it's a purely night system and day system. So you're not spending more than 12 to 14 hours in the hospital at a time at the very most. All of our residents are involved in mentored scholarly projects. One of the nice features that we have is that our children's hospital is really embedded in the larger medical center here at the University of Michigan and the greater University of Michigan campus. And so many of our residents work with faculty outside of our department, which is a really nice feature that they have available. We, like many programs, have been continuing to add to our diversity and inclusion initiatives over the last several years. We have a monthly departmental forum on racism and injustice that our residents are participants in and have been some of the speakers at. We also have a fairness, inclusion, respect, and equity rounds, part of our Grand Round series. Residents have been involved in developing a Pediatricians for Black Lives and a pediatric advocacy collaborative team that works with our educational conference schedule, also works with advocacy at our state capitol, works with our youth justice system, our legal aid clinic, and a variety of other initiatives that are really led by our residents. We have a class size of 34, so 22 categorical pediatric residents, 4 child neurology, 1 pediatric genetics, and 8 medicine pediatrics, which gives us a class of about 105 residents. So big enough that we can cover when we get to celebrate with people when they welcome new members into their family, or if they're ill and they need to take time off, but small enough that we get to know each other really well and feel like a true family. A little over half of our residents go on into fellowship, and the others go on to either private practice or academic general pediatrics. I have lived in Ann Arbor for over 30 years. I think it's one of the real wonderful aspects of our program. People come here from all over the world, so our patient population reflects that. We have over 70 different languages that are spoken by our in-house interpreters, and we utilize them on a regular basis with our teams. The Dearborn, which is one of the communities near us, has one of the largest Muslim populations in the country. And I think this really gives us a nice opportunity to work with a different patient population and learn a lot about the people that we share this earth with, which is really wonderful. And I'm very excited for you to all learn about us. I will also say that this system does work. We've been really pleased with how wonderful our intern class is and how they really reflect the values and sort of family feel that we're always looking for, and that we managed to find these people on Zoom is amazing and wonderful. And we know we're going to be able to do it again this coming year. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Burroughs. Okay. So let's see, there should be, okay. Well, I will go back to the front page and we will start questions and answers. I just want to first thank all the program directors, program coordinators, the previous chief residents, as well as current chief residents for just being able to talk to us and just spending time with us tonight. I will open up the chat to see if there are any questions that I forgot to address. Nope. Okay, no questions. So does anyone, any of the students on right now have any questions? Open floor. If not, I can go ahead and ask a question. All right, so question number 1.
There are, did you see?
Oh,
yeah, there's a
yes,
few
is there a
questions
question?
in there. Yeah, there's a few questions in the chat that have come in.
Okay, so question number 1, what is the difference between applying to PEDS categorical or PEDS preliminary?
I can try to take that one if nobody else wants to. PEDS categorical is the 3-year standard pediatric residency program, and a PEDS preliminary position is a position in which you're there typically for a year or 2 years, depending on your needs for your next stage. But it's kind of a the first part of your residency, and you would do, I can't remember, it has a special name. The second part of your residency is in something else that's not pediatrics. So say you're going to do dermatology and you want to do a prelim year in pediatrics, you would do that 1 or 2 years with us, but that you would not be board eligible for pediatric boards in most cases after that, because you have to go and do your second residency.
Does anyone else have anything to add to that? If not, we can go on to the second question. Okie dokie. How does the diversity of the residence class represent that of the community you serve?
Hi, so for in Nationwide Children's Hospital, and we are trying to match it, and I think it's very similar right now. I think it's like 30%, like from the data that we got from our patients, and now like with our residents, like we are close to matching it. So we're very proud of it.
Does anybody else want to share?
Here at the University of Michigan, we're always trying to increase the diversity and representation for our residency class. We're not quite at what we would like it to be, but have been working hard over the last couple of years to make changes to that. Some of that involves outreach that our residents are involved in, both with our medical students here at the University of Michigan, but also with medical students through SNMA and LNAMA, really trying to highlight the diversity of our patient population, since many times our applicants will say that they're concerned that that's a problem, which is kind of why we wanted to highlight all of the languages that are spoken, as well as the variety of individuals that we take care of in our patient panel, which isn't just maybe what some people might think of as Midwestern college town. Most of the time people are like, wait, this is not at all what I was thinking it was going to be. We're pleased about that.
At the University of Missouri, we do serve a large rural population, as I mentioned in the presentation. And so a lot of our residents do represent that rural background. And I'm very proud a lot of our residents are first-time physicians in their own families. And so it's fantastic to be able to see them through their journey as future pediatricians.
And in Oklahoma City, we have we actually have our faculty members. We have 2 faculty members that have protected time to be our diversity, equity, and inclusion officers. And actually, I think tonight we have one of our resident leaders on that council, Moni Herrera. So I don't know if you want to say something really quickly.
Hi, that's me. Yep, there I am.
And so we don't do a great job yet mirroring in our residents and in our faculty the community that we serve. And that's something that I think we are working very hard at. And so part of the task of this committee is going to be figuring out ways to recruit a more diverse residency group. But if anybody has any great ideas, and I think partly in the Midwest, especially in Oklahoma, I think some of the politics, or at least people's perception of the politics, can work against us. If anybody has any great ideas, we are all ears.
Yeah, and this is Dr. Burke from Wright State. I'll just point out again, you're going into the right specialty because all of us, I know my friends who are program directors on the call here, we all really value diversity and inclusion, and we're all trying to really do new things to recruit faculty and residents from diverse backgrounds, because it adds richness to our programs. And I think you'll find that any PEDS program that you go to, we're all very much trying and interested in it.
So it looks like we have to go back into the main room, but I just wanted to remind everyone to visit our YouTube page to rewatch and get any of the information that was shown on the slides here, as well as for all the students that are on, we will have a resident happy hour afterwards. I think it's not really an hour, it's more like 30 minutes. So a resident happy half hour. So just want to say thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you guys back in the main room.